All right, so we're here with the week 11 quiz review helper video. So let's look at this quiz and kind of point out the things that you're going to want to be looking at. It's not the one I wanted to click on. This is the one I wanted to click on. So here's the quiz. Let's point out some stuff. Diagrams should look familiar. I'm going to point out in the notes. So I'm not going to explain every single thing in this. I'm just going to point out some stuff that you're supposed to go and look at in the notes for each quiz so we can try to do better on these quizzes. This diagram looks familiar because I copy and paste a lot of the diagrams into your notes. Okay, so the mid-ocean ridge seafloor spreading concept is in the quiz. It's going to ask you about something with these locations. Go over that in the notes. What layer of the Earth's interior is inferred to be? Layer of the Earth's interior. What are they made of? What are the temperatures? What are the densities? What are the depths? What are the pressures? We've been going over that all week. What's the depth? What's the temperature? What's the pressure? Same question. What's the pressure? The interface between the outer core and inner core. So those are the boundaries between two of the layers. Go over those parts of the notes. Analyzing seismic data. Certain P waves or S waves get to certain areas. That tells us certain things about the Earth's interior. Make sure you're going over that. Why do S waves get to one spot of the Earth and not the other spot? What's happening inside the Earth that's stopping S waves? Those things are important on these slides. You've got, this is a slightly different, this is a graph showing what happens to P waves and S waves, and they hit a certain area, and the S waves disappear, and the P waves change velocity, change direction. So matching up the depths with this information and matching up to a diagram that describes the Earth's interior. Here's a bunch of questions that you can peek ahead of time for this one, okay? One of these four, this looks familiar. We've done this. One of these four is properly graphed the data for the densities of the different layers. Question 11 that you can't see is density and composition of the two types of crust. Make sure you know how to look up the continental crust, density, composition, ocean crust, density, composition. Hey, look, another diagram that you've seen many times before. Okay, so you got a shadow zone. P waves and S waves get to both sides. Only the P waves get to this side. I'm not explaining all the concepts in this video. You need to go into that diagram in your notes and make sure you understand the concept. This is how you go over things for the quiz. This diagram here looks very familiar. It's from your lab. Mid-ocean ridge. So if this is the mid-ocean ridge and you have this on one side, what would it look like on the other side? Knowing which spots are older. As you get away from the ridge, it gets what in age and what in temperature. Same thing with, let's not get too far up on this diagram here. You could look at this diagram here. There's a question asked about it. Not going to show you the question, but make sure that you understand mid-ocean ridges and what happens as you get further away from a mid-ocean ridge. And then another diagram here that you could look at ahead of time that's showing the different layers and what's happening to P waves and S waves, the velocity of them through those different layers. Make sure you can name the layers. The only thing that's not on the quiz is the transform stuff. You did that Thursday night. I didn't include it in the quiz. There will be a bonus transform boundary question. Okay, so there's going to be a bonus question. Just make sure that you're prepared as far as that goes, but there's nothing specifically on the quiz for that. So let's look at these three for the notes. Make sure that when you click on these notes, you're looking at the diagrams. You're supposed to go through these diagrams. These diagrams right here are showing different things happen. You should watch the video that's explaining any rhymes and flows. You should have little spots in your notebook that you're jotting down the most important parts of these notes That's how you study, okay? Earth's interior, making sure you're going over what's happening to the different things in the Earth's interior, watching the video that explains stuff. That's how you prepare for a quiz. Studying for a quiz should take you somewhere around 10 to 20 minutes on Thursday nights if you really want to do well on those quizzes. Sorry, Yuri's on vacation. He should be back Friday.